Area 28. Well-appointed halls. The halls on this level join to form a circuit. Their features are as follows. Decor. Long purple rugs with gold trim and wood-framed portraits of wizards cover the floor. Where the halls widen, carved oak chairs padded with red velvet are available to weary visitors. At the foot of each stair rests an ottoman. Okay, then you have crystal barred windows face the courtyard, area 23. That's what all of these three dot areas are. Okay, unless the characters have already encountered and defeated Otto elsewhere, the invisible fairy dragon lurks in these halls. See Otto's game, page 101. Okay, now for the guest rooms, we have some companion material. I'm going to read from that first. Each room's bed can comfortably fit 2 guests. Ship in a bottle. Found in Area 30, this knickknack was once a fully manned longship. Hallister, determined to furnish the castle, answered the prayers of the crew when they were lost at sea. He offered to bottle them up and bring them home. They never could have guessed what the mad mage actually meant. A legend lore spell cast on a bottle reveals this. A DC 20 wisdom perception check is necessary for a character to realize that there are tiny bones littering the ship. The crew starved to death. Okay, then we have a charred victim of if a spell of Speak with Dead is cast upon the charred skeleton found in Area 31. He reveals to himself to be a mage and poet by the name of Robert Hellfrost. He too was invited to dine here with Maddgoth, who promised to take him on as an apprentice. Mighty as Robert already was, he awoke to Maddgoth splashing oil on him and his bed, and then sitting in a flame with a burning hand spell. Brass hookah. The brass hookah found in Area 32 is treasured by Maddgoth. He likes to smoke with a guest the night before he murders them. He often then sleeps in the bed they were going to take, bringing the hookah there. Sufficient pipeweed can be found in a case next to the hookah. A DC 14 intelligence investigation check reveals that the spots on the brass are scorch marks. Then we have Maddgoth's dance. If the adventurers stay in at the night, they find themselves split across the 4 guest rooms. Area 31's corpse has been removed by then and the room cleaned. Fearing that his first victim will be a screamer or alert their fellows by magic, Maddgoth stations his minions outside the other rooms, the Grey Slod and the 2 Narthaloths. His homunculus roams around the hall, ready to lend its strength where necessary. You can communicate with Maddgoth via its telepathic bond feature. Once all forces are ready, he attacks. Maddgoth has the antidote on his person. Okay, now let's read the rooms one by one. Room 29 is down here. It's a guest room. And the module says the door frame has an electrum coin wedged into it. See Area 19. This room's features are as follows: a comfortable bed, a handsome armoire, a 3-paneled privacy screen, and an empty chest with clawed feet decorate the room. Fancy rugs cover the floor. Embedded in the middle of the north wall is a stone arch. It's an arcane gate. If a lit torch is brought within 5 feet of the arch, the gate opens for 1 minute. Characters must be limit level or higher, and then they trigger an Elder Rune. A creature that passes through the gate appears in Area 16 on level 11 in the closest unoccupied space next to the identical gate located there. The door frame has a silver coin wedged into it. The room's features are as follows: a bed heaped with pillows. Okay, this is Area 30. So that's this next guest room. A bed heaped with pillows, a 4-foot tall armoire, and an empty sea chest decorate the room. Rugs woven with wave-like patterns cover the floor. Displayed atop the armoire is a large bottle containing a beautiful model of a longship. Behind the bottle, hanging on the wall, is a large framed portrait of an old man, Alistair, gazing down at the boat with a mad gleam in his eyes. The longship model is 54 inches long by 15 inches wide in a a cork glass bottle, 5 feet long and 1.5 feet wide. The bottle rests on its side in a wooden stand and is portable. A detect magic spell reveals an aura of transmutation magic around the ship. An identify spell or similar magic cast upon the model reveals that it's an actual longship magically reduced to 1/12 its normal size. The spell also reveals that the only way to restore the ship is to its actual size, 54 feet long by 15 feet wide, is to touch the ship while speaking the proper command phrase, "Our voyage is at hand." Once this ship enlarges to normal size, it becomes an ordinary longship worth 10,000 gold pieces intact and cannot be shrunk back down. If it is restored to full size in a space too small to contain it, such as this chamber, the ship splinters apart and is destroyed. Creatures nearby might take damage from flying debris at your discretion. The ship is unaffected by the size altering magic of Maddgoth's castle. Area 31. This room smells faintly of charcoal smoke. A canopied bed stands against the south wall, its black curtain drawn down. Other furnishings include a coat rack by the door, an empty chest with clawed feet, an empty wardrobe with a slender mirror on the inside of its door, and a writing desk with matching chair. The odor of charcoal becomes stronger as one approaches the bed. If the characters draw back the shroud covering it, they find the charred skeleton of a human lying in the bed, clad in burned robes and clutching the blackened stub of a wooden wand. The bed is undamaged, though its covers are stained with ash from the skeletal remains. The skeleton is all that remains of Agorak's dark sworn, a wizard snared and killed by Maddgoth long ago. Southeast guest room. Okay, that's down here. Southeast guest room. The door frame has a copper coin wedged into it, see area 19. All the furniture here is carved from sandstone. The room's features are as follows: a brass hookah rests atop a small table next to a cushioned divan in the middle of the room. Two beds stand against the north wall. At the foot of each bed sits a stone chest with a pyramidal lid. The chests are empty. Hanging on the wall between the beds is a 7-foot diameter sandstone disc carved with a Medusa's glaring visage. Area 33. The door to this room is locked, its key lost. Two crystal barred windows look out over the courtyard. 4 overstuffed chairs face each other with a low circular table between them. An octobass, a 12-foot tall fiddle, leans in the northeast corner, its bow on the floor nearby. Trapped in the octobass is a naked old man, a shape-changed grey slod. Maddgoth removed the slod's control gem and, for fun, ordered the creature to crawl inside the octobass and remain near. The old man claims to be Zartim, a wizard whom Maddgoth invited to the castle for dinner. He further claims that Maddgoth stole his spellbook and used magic to trap him inside the octobus. If the characters shatter the fragile instrument, the slot is no longer bound by Maddgoth's parting instructions and attacks its liberators. The slot prefers to fight with its greatsword, which is hidden from view while it's in the octobus, or catch multiple foes in the area of a fireball spell. Okay, and then area 34 is over here, 34A. Oh, wait, let me read about what the companion says about the slot. Okay, so the companion has the following. A massive octobass dominates this chamber, and in it squirms something. A small hole has been made in the instrument, and from it peers the face of an old man. "You there, help me, for the love of all gods, help me," the old man shouts. "Free me before Maddgoth wakes." By the way, for those of us who don't know what an octobas is actually is octobase is actually like a cello, but it's the body, the case is as big as tall as a man. So it's an extremely, it's a gargantuan musical instrument that looks like a cello, which is like a big violin. If you don't know what a cello is, that stands up, and the old man is trapped inside it. You have a few options on how to run this encounter. It would be more beneficial to Maddgoth's stance if Zartan didn't attack the adventurers, thus preserving his life until the slot is needed as extra muscle for the Archmage. Alternatively, it attacks the adventurers and flees when wounded, relying on its regeneration trait to heal its wounds. The Slod hits and runs until Maddgoth arrives. If Zartim holds back, it instead tries to score sympathy with the adventurers. It's forbidden to leave the castle by Maddgoth, who has its control gem. It will make a show of reaching the main entrance of the castle and casting fly on itself, and leaving the party's field of view before going to the roof. Another guest. If Zartum doesn't leave the castle, Maddgoth returns in time to invite the adventurers to stay for dinner. Zartum then becomes yet another guest, but is ready to aid Maddgoth in the moment's notice. When the Slod makes its first attack, it sheds its disguise, revealing its true appearance and nature. The adventurers will learn again why they ought not trust anyone. Adjust Maddgoth's stance accordingly to account for this additional guest. However, as the creature lacks immunity or even resistance to poison damage, it's loath to drink the poisoned wine. See Area 27. Unfortunately, it must obey Maddgoth's command and roll the dice later. Characters can notice that Zartum is troubled or upset with a successful DC 14 Wisdom Insight check after the wine is poured and during Maddgoth's toast. Okay, that's Area 33 all done. Now, Area 34, we have the following to read from the companion. From behind this door, emblazoned with a stained glass M, floats heavy snoring, perhaps the lord of this castle? Okay, let's move here to 34A, master bedchamber. The frame of the outmost door has a platinum coin wedged into it. The door has a stained glass M worked into its design. Anyone who listens at the door hears deep snoring coming from beyond it. 34A. Maddgoth slept as little as possible and spent almost no time here. The room's features are as follows. The wood-paneled walls are decorated with 6 framed portraits of a fat, smiling wizard clutching a wand. A thick brown wall-to-wall carpet covers the floor. In the southwest corner, 2 wooden thrones face an impressive dragon chess set on a table. A large 4-poster bed stands against the west wall between 2 crystal-barred windows. Hefty figure sleeps under the covers, snoring loudly. The snoring lump under the covers is an illusion. If the covers are pulled back, the snoring stops, and it's revealed that there's no one in the bed. Casting Dispel Magic on the bed also ends the illusion. A Detect Magic spell reveals an aura of conjuration magic around each framed portrait of Maddgoth. When a creature casts a spell on this room or disturbs the figure in the bed, the 6 wands depicted in the framed portraits magically spring forth from their paintings, gaining the statistics of flying swords and remain detached from the paintings thereafter. Replace the wand's longsword action option with the following: Magic Missile. The wand shoots a dart of magical force at one creature that it can detect within 60 feet of it. The target takes 3 force damage as the dart hits it unerringly. The dragon chess set weighs 30 pounds and has beautifully carved and enameled pieces. A character who succeeds on a DC 25 intelligence history check realizes that the set is one of 4 made by Emperor Umyatin, who ruled an ancient human civilization called Imaskar that spanned much of Faerun 10 millennia ago. Collectors aware of its history will pay up to 2,500 GP for the set. Okay, then 34B. This closet is stuffed with robes, sleeping gowns, shoes, and slippers hanging on racks or stacked neatly on shelves. 35. So over here, cloakroom. Uh, Wait, let's see if there's anything in the companion. 34, 34A. Ooh, okay, so before we move on, let's read what the companion says about 34A. No dust can be found in this room, not on the massive dragon chest set nearby, not on any of the six portraits of a portly, smiling wizard, not on the four-poster bed, the one in which a hefty figure lies snoring. Statistics for the flying swords have been prepared. See Flying Wands of Magic Missile in Appendix B. If they've activated, read the following. The portraits suddenly change, smiles turn to scowls as the wands clutched by that wizard spring into existence, floating through the bedchamber. With a flick of its wrist, each portrait causes the wands to unleash a barrage of magic missile. Barrage of magic missile. Okay. Then, like I said, 35 is the cloakroom. Coats, cloaks, robes, wizard hats, and other apparel hang from books on the walls. Standing north of the floor is is what appears to be a mind flare. Most of the apparel on on display was taken from wizards whom Maddgoth killed. So consequently, they come in all sizes and fashions. Many of these items have obvious burn marks, tears, bloodstains, and other defects, suggesting how their previous owners met their ends. Closer inspection reveals that the Mind Flayer is a featureless wooden mannequin dressed in a convincing Mind Flayer costume, complete with black robe, cowl, and rubber mask. A medium character who wears the costume can make charisma deception checks to impersonate a Mind Flayer. Such checks are made with advantage if the costume is viewed in poor lighting or from more than 15 feet away. The character who wears the mask has disadvantage on wisdom perception checks. The character who wears the robe and cowl has disadvantage on dexterity stealth checks. The robe and cowl can't be worn over heavy armor. Okay, and what does our companion say about 35? Nothing. All right, 36. 36A, gather intelligence. Maddgoth gathers intelligence on wizards across Faerun, prepares dossiers on several promising ones, and stores these records here. This room contains rows of wooden cabinets stuffed with disorganized files chronicling the magical exploits of thousands of wizards dating back hundreds of years. Half of the dossiers are so old that they've crumbled to dust. Scrawled on most of the remaining ones is the word deceased in Maddgoth's hand, while a handful of dossiers bear the word lich instead. The door to this room is locked and trapped with a glyph of warding spell. Maddgoth took the key with him, and opening the door by any means other than using the proper key triggers the spell. Picking the lock requires thieves' tools and a successful DC 15 dexterity check. An examination of the door, accompanied by a successful DC 19 intelligence investigation check, detects the nearly invisible glyph, which is scratched into one of the door's stained glass panes. When triggered, the glyph erupts with magical energy in a 20-foot radius sphere centered on it. Each creature in the area must make a DC 19 dexterity saving throw, taking 45 thunder damage on a failed save or half as much damage on a successful one. The glyph has the secondary effect of blowing out all the glass in the door. The room is empty. 36B. That was 36B. Okay. Then we have 37, which is the last one for this video. What do we have in the companion? Oh, forgive me again, I skipped the companion. 36. For 36, it says, if you have any arcane spellcasters in your party or your players have retired any from previous campaigns, you can take the time to flatter them by having a detailed dossier written by Maddgoth, making that spellcaster a promising target. I like that. Okay, then we have 37 for the companion. From the companion, we read this otherwise unremarkable chamber sports a strange console. 3 brass levers protrude from its side, the other 2 in the up position, and the middle lies down. 5 brass buttons set into the dash just beg to be pushed. Maddgoth stands. The console can be utilized in various ways. If the adventurers accept Maddgoth's dinner proposal, he turns on the interior lights and plays orchestral music. If the adventurers attempt to escape the castle or decline his offer to stay for dinner or the night, Maddgoth locks the castle down, floods it with fog, and if necessary, teleports all creatures to Area 47. Once Maddgoth turns on the lights, Korok notices the castle and gathers his family. Repulsed by the mithril Dispindle, he resorts to a traditional stone giant solution, hurling rocks. He assaults the castle with the boulders, which shrink but keep their relative momentum. The castle is impervious to damage, but those on its rooftops are not. See Area 47 for details. Okay, now let's read what the module says about Area 37. The door frame has a platinum coin wedged into it. Bolted to the floor in the middle of the room is an iron console that resembles a pedestal with a slanted top. Protruding from the console are 3 brass levers arranged side by side, with the outer levers in the up position and the middle lever in the down position. To the right of the levers are 5 brass buttons situated at the points of a gold pentagram. An inscription appears next to each lever and each button. A creature can use an action to adjust up to 3 levers and buttons in any combination. The console serves several functions. Leftmost lever. The inscription under this lever reads Courtyard. Lowering the lever unlocks the 4 doors that lead to Area 23. Raising the lever locks them again. Middle lever. The inscription under this lever reads Light. Raising the lever turns on the castle's interior lights. Lowering the lever turns them off again. While the interior lights are on, creatures in the surrounding cavern can see the castle. Rightmost lever. The inscription under this lever reads Heat. Lowering the lever shuts off the heat, reducing the interior temperature by 10 degrees each hour until it drops to 30 degrees Fahrenheit, the temperature of the surrounding cavern. Raising the lever causes the temperature to rise 10 degrees each hour until it reaches 70 degrees Fahrenheit. The inscription next to this button reads Music. That's button number 1. Pushing the button fills the castle with ambient orchestral music, occasionally punctuated with a singing chorus. Pressing the button again ends the music. Button 2. The inscription next to this button reads Roof. Pushing the button teleports all creatures in the room to the castle rooftop Area 43, along with whatever items they are wearing and carrying. Button 3. The inscription under this button reads Fog. Pushing the button fills the castle hallways Area 18, 28, and 38, and the stairways connecting them with fog, making these areas heavily obscured. The fog lasts for 1 hour or until a wind of moderate or greater speed, at least 10 miles per hour, disperses it. The inscription next to this button reads Lockdown. Pushing this button causes every door in the castle, including the rooftop trapdoor, to lock as if sealed by an arcane lock spell. This effect lasts for 1 hour. While locked in this way, the interior doors, most of which are as much iron as glass, also become electrified. Such a door deals 5 lightning damage to any creature that touches it. The inscription next to this button reads, Do not press. Pushing the button causes bolts of lightning to erupt from the outside. Each creature in the room must make a DC 20 dexterity saving throw, taking 44 lightning damage on a failed save or half as much on a successful one. A creature in metal armor has disadvantage on the saving throw.
We hope you've enjoyed this video and found it useful. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe to keep up with our new videos to level up your campaign. Special thanks to Wyatt Troll for writing his amazing companion, available at dmsguild.com, which this video is based on. We strongly recommend getting the complete edition. We couldn't imagine running any of the campaign without it.